Hello, little dreamer. Are you tucked in nice and cozy? Tonight, I'll take you on a journey across the sea to a little coastal village where the waves tell ancient stories and the wind carries wishes. Let's close our eyes and set sail on a tale about kindness, choices, and the whispering magic of the sea. The tale of Manis and the whispering sea. In a quiet village nestled between emerald hills and the glittering sea, lived a kind, elderly woman named Mrs. Lela. Her home was small and made of wood, but her heart was as big as the ocean. She had one precious treasure, her son, Manis. Manis was bright-eyed and curious. He loved the sea and would sit by the shore for hours, watching the ships glide across the water. One day, he'd say to his mother, "I'll sail the world and bring back treasures for you." Mrs. Lela would smile gently. "Just bring back your smile, my dear. That is all this mother needs." When Manis grew older, he left the village to find a life beyond the horizon. "I'll return with stories, riches, and silk from faraway lands," he said, hugging his mother tightly. "Take this with you," said Mrs. Lela, handing him a small pouch of herbs and a tiny conch shell. "This is your protection, and this," she smiled, "is to remind you of home. Listen to the shell, and you'll hear my lullaby." And with a wave and tearful goodbye, Manis boarded a ship and sailed away into the golden dawn. Many seasons passed. The trees in the village grew taller, and the stars above changed patterns, but Mrs. Lela never stopped waiting. Every morning, she'd light a lantern and whisper into the sea breeze, "Come home, my son." She grew older, her hair silver like the moonlight, and her steps slower. Still, her heart was full of hope. Far across the sea, Manis had indeed found success. He became a sailor, then a merchant, and eventually a captain, Nakhoda Manis, the gentle navigator. He wore fine robes and lived aboard a grand ship with golden sails. But as his wealth grew, the memory of his humble village, and his mother, began to fade like mist. One day, Nakhoda Manis's ship passed near a familiar shore. The hills, the trees, something stirred inside him. "This place looks like a dream," he said, puzzled. The villagers noticed the grand ship and rushed to the shore. Mrs. Lela, hearing the excitement, leaned on her cane and made her way to the dock. Her heart fluttered. She saw the ship. She saw him. "Manis," she whispered. With trembling hands, she waved. "Manis, my son." But Nakhoda Manis, seeing her in tattered clothes and thin sandals, hesitated. His heart wrestled with shame. "That poor woman," he muttered. "Could she really be?" His crew looked on curiously. Not wanting to appear foolish or lowly, he shook his head. "She must be mistaken." And with that, the ship began to turn away. Heartbroken, Mrs. Lela knelt by the water. She didn't scream. She didn't curse. She simply closed her eyes and whispered into the wind, "If he has truly forgotten me, then let the sea remember." The sky grew quiet. The waves, once gentle, began to shimmer with strange light. The winds turned still. Then, a great hush fell over the sea. From the depths, a low hum rose, like a lullaby sung by the ocean itself. The waves wrapped around Nakhoda Manis's ship like ribbons of silk, and stopped it mid-journey. Manis stood frozen as mist curled around his ship. The sound of a mother's lullaby echoed from the conch shell he still carried in his coat pocket. For the first time in years, he remembered. He remembered her voice, her smile, her kindness, and his heart cracked wide open. "I must return," he cried. But it was too late. The ship shuddered and groaned. Its golden hull turned to stone, and its sails dissolved into sea foam. Where the ship once floated, now stood a large stone rising from the water, silent, still, and shaped like a ship pointing back to shore. From that day forward, the villagers noticed something strange. On quiet evenings, when the tide was low and the stars shone clearly, the great stone in the sea would hum a soft lullaby, the same tune Mrs. Lela once sang. Children would gather near the beach and say, "That's the song of the mother who waited. And the sea remembers her love." Mrs. Lela, though heartbroken, continued to light her lantern every night, placing it by her window so its glow would reach the sea. Some say her spirit now rests in the wind, gently guiding lost ships home. And so, little one, the forest may whisper and the sea may hum, but love, love is the strongest magic of all. Even when forgotten, it remembers. Even when far, it reaches. Just like the glow of a mother's lantern, always shining, waiting, warm. So close your eyes, dear heart. Dream of glowing waters, soft lullabies, and ships made of stars. Tomorrow, we'll sail to another story. Good night.